Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio, welcome to the Mad Monday podcast, brought to you as always by the legends at 4 and 20 Pies, the original fan food.
And Australia without rugby league is not Australia.
Well, it's official. We are number one. We go 1 point clear of, I believe, the Roosters with that field goal from Luke Hanson. It seems like an age ago, but it was an absolute hiding. As usual, injuries, substitutions, replacements, calls, it didn't matter. We absolutely housed the Rabbitohs and go clear at the top of the table. I guess my first question for you, Pantsman, is do you believe, because Webby was asked after the game, whether they were conscious of the points differential. And Brandy was talking about it a lot on the commentary. He'd crunched the numbers. He knew it was 19. Webby said they didn't know and that was never part of their plan. Do you believe him?
No, not at all.
No,
because
never.
there was, I don't know, 10,000 Kiwis and Warriors fans in this one section of the core stadium, and every single person there knew. So I'd be very surprised if Luke Hanson, he seems like a bit of a footy nerd himself, I reckon, as well. He definitely had the numbers running in his head. And with about 20 minutes to go, it looked like we might bottle it and lose when it was 32-26. But we came back. Chanel Harris to beat a legacy game, and the boys were flying.
I think for me, when I saw that field goal, because it looked like Chanel was going to have a crack at it. They had clearly set it up for Luke Hanson. He kicked it, gave the Selesele, and I thought, playing the parade. We're going to win the whole fucking thing. You don't see the Warriors of old doing things like that. Kicking a 1 point field goal to go clear at the top of the table is the most gangster thing may have ever happened in the regular season for the Warriors. To go clear at the table. It's like they were saying, we're not even playing the Rabbitohs right now. We're playing the entire field of the NRL, and we're beating yous. I reckon playing the parade. I think we've won it. I'm going to be at the grand final. What a treat to be there to watch it happen. I don't know. As an Eels fan, Izaak, sorry.
What the fuck did you start laughing as soon as you said that?
Because they fucking sucked. What did you think when you saw him ice that game?
To be honest, it was probably the first time I saw him on camera the whole game. It was a great way to do fuck all, and then right at the end get the cold Sally, get the number one picture in the carousel for the Instagram.
He did what he needed to, and he didn't need to do anything, and that's basically what the Warriors have been running on this year. I guess the big storyline or the big out this week is Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, but that's got to be one of the heartiest things that you've seen on an NRL field for a while.
Yeah, it was great, mate. And obviously we came on this podcast, and I think it was you that said there was a curse at a core stadium, Manaia, and obviously Mitch Barnett, he did his ACL last year. So it was good that no ACLs went down, but I don't know. As soon as you saw DWZ got ankle tapped and fell on his collarbone, which initially people thought it was just a burner to the shoulder. I couldn't really see. I was about 400 meters away at a core stadium, and paralytically drunk, so not really aware of what was going on. Then I went back and watched the replay, and you saw DWZ take that hit up in the first half, and he just turned his whole body. It was very uncharacteristic of Dallin. So it was amazing that footage as well. Overhead, you see him about to go off, and he goes on, scores a try with his left hand for one of the first time in his career as well. And it just sums up the heart of this Warriors side. But I think he's actually going to be a massive loss, Dallin. Even when he went off, amazingly, our defence got so much worse. There's been so much critique of Dallin's defence over the last few years as well. But I don't know, he's kind of has got it right this year. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens without him.
The other thing that all the pundits have been talking about this week is the young boys, the zesty boys, coming on in the second half, having a massive impact. Dimitrik and Eddie Jeremiah Toiava combining for that try. I mean, that was sick. I think the most impressive part of that for me was that happened in the 60th or 70th minute or something. It was quite late in the game. And I think in a lot of other teams, particularly around this time of the season, be very easy for teams to just be like, I'm not pushing up in support. Demi's coming off the back fence, so I'm just going to let him go. But first ready Eddie, they call him Goggins. They reckon he's the fittest man in the team. But him to still just be pushing up in support, I reckon that's the kind of shit that shows you that we are a legit contender this year. Aside from the fact that we're obviously first on
Number
the table.
one.
That and the fact that we're the best team in the comp.
That was in like the 30th minute, but it was the end of the first
like the
half.
70th. Sorry, Carol.
Yeah, but I like the sentiment. I know what you mean. It was even like when Jacob Laban scored the try in the 68th minute when it was so close. It was 32-26, and then Chanel Harris-Tavita, he kicked it and regained himself, and then like that was also another example of support play, Laban just pushing through. But it is pretty amazing how now there's a good chance that Jackson Ford's going to be back in the first week of finals, potentially even next week. But it's like, who would you drop in that side to get him back in there? Because every single forward has been delivering. I feel like Eddie was kind of the person who would be first out, but after the way he played last week, it was that, and then straight afterwards he took a big carry. Like, he looks like a genuine star, and there's been raps about him for years in the Warriors side. I mean, he's probably been overshadowed by the Labans, the Leckers, the Demis, and that. But it is crazy what these zesty boys are doing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him win a title for the Broncos or something in a couple of years' time. I reckon that's not a problem anymore, mate. I think people want to be at the Warriors now. And I think, it's like last week we re-signed Andrew Webster, and he's building a good thing. Like these guys, they're obviously good mates as well. They're sticking together. I don't think it's a problem. I think they probably have this mission, and it's quite close to being in sight as well. They want to be the people on that poster when the Warriors win their first ever title. Yeah, you're right, and I think the best thing we can do for attracting new players to the Warriors was re-signing Webby, because if you're a player overseas, particularly if you're of Kiwi heritage, you look at this and you go, well, shit, he's turned Tanner Boyd into prime Joel Harrison, and like have a think about what he could do for your career. I saw that the voting is open for the People's Choice Player of the Year this year, but like the punters over in Aussie have been saying, we don't have that star player. That's not the DNA of this team. But if you were to cast your vote for the 1NZ Fans Player of the Year, who do you reckon it would be, Izaak? Is it Wade Egan?
I think it's between Wade Egan and Aaron Clark. For me, just consistency, played a lot of the game. Mitch Barnett obviously missed a lot. Fisher Harris as well, injured. Jackson forward. So between those two for me.
And what would Luke Laulili have to do this weekend, Pantsman, to put him in the conversation?
Well, mate, I actually got to send an anonymous stat last night. He's actually the second try scorer from the Tigers this year, and he's only played 6 games. So 6 games, 8 tries. One of those against the Warriors, and they defeated us as well. So you never know. There could be something about this kid. It's a bold move to pick up a guy who could hardly make the Tigers' first 17. But look, there's raps about him. He's off to Perth Bears next year, so maybe he's good. He's a specialist winger, a bit short, but it's a good thing that the Knights are missing Dom Young this week, which we'll talk about later. But I think in terms of casting the vote, I'd have to go Wade Egan. I think Wade Egan has been the form hooker this year by a long way, especially in the last 6 weeks. But like, and he also, I was going to say he kind of, his sort of HIAs have been put away recently as well, which has been good. I've got to stop saying stuff like that, don't I? But I think the way the Wade Egan, but you could also go for an unsung hero, Chanel Harris-Tavita. I think he's played all but the round 2 and 3 this year as well, and he sort of has played a great supporting role to every different 7. And then when he got his opportunity last week, he was exceptional. So I think those two. Maybe even James Fisher-Harris. Like, I know he was out for a couple of weeks, but I think his the effect he's had on this team, and you can just tell that everyone is getting around him and Mitch Barnett as well. But yeah, I think Fish, one of those 3 for me. Yourself?
I think Fish. just because, particularly if it's the fans vote for player of the game, player of the season. We don't have any superstar highlight reel plays from any of our teams because we've been blowing teams out. And I think that a lot of that starts with Fish. It's when I kind of think as he goes is how our team goes. And that's why when we played the Panthers the other day and he's just fucking right up for it. Same against the Broncos who aren't going great this year, but they still got Hakeem Haas and he, still gets up for those big games. I think he secured it with the hooker. The the pukana that he was dishing out there, I think, just really locked the trophy away for me. So it's got to be James Fisher-Harris. I feel like that game has been very similar to a lot of our games recently. I don't have too much to say about it because we just spanked them again, and we spanked them boring. You know, there wasn't really... I know that it was a bit closer than 45-26 would sort of seem to suggest, but they all have been. And we just sort of have this inevitability about us heading into the finals that I haven't felt in a long time.
We do. I do think you have to. You might have forgotten about. There was that 15-minute period in the second half after Dallin went off, and Tallis Duncan was just running wild on that left-hand side. Cody Walker. I mean, that's why AJ scores so many tries. Such a strong left side to the south. Obviously, there was a few different arrangements there. Pompey didn't have his greatest game. I think they moved Lecker from the left-hand side to the right-hand side at one stage as well. But yeah, look, those are just very small critiques, and every single team in the competition has critiques. Look at the Roosters; they couldn't even beat the Tigers. Penrith, they had 3 or 4 sin bins and almost lost this to a depleted Storm side. So, yeah, mate, it's a great feeling, and it's just like something switched after that Bulldogs loss because we got like dominated in that first 20 minutes by the Bulldogs and just looked so flat. But just the energy about the fans, the belief, the players, the boys, they were flying. So it was pretty cool.
And shout out to the Tigers. It's the most Tigers shit of all time. To basically just suck all year and then all of a sudden ice the Roosters. I think equally as exciting it couldn't have been funnier that it was the Tigers that did that, to beat them by 1 point. But then also that I don't think that happens to the Warriors at the moment. You know what I mean? Like losing to a team like that, I reckon that puts us obviously on the table above the Roosters, but in my mind, I think we're clear of the Roosters.
I think it can be forgiven. The woes on the right side of the Warriors. One, Rabbits, they'll be top 2 for their left side tries. They've got great attack when it goes to their left side. Cody Walker is an absolute magician. He puts points on, even when they get a hiding by 40, 50 points, you know for sure they're scoring a couple of tries down that left side. So with the injury to Dallin, having to shuffle everything around, I think it can be forgiven. What was a good sign was that Warriors had that period where they lost those points and they conceded those tries, but they were able to regroup, come back, and then finish the game strong. Yeah, which is what you want. On the Roosters, however, that is one of the biggest choke jobs I think I've ever seen. It was mental. Yes, I did have a horse in the race. A lot of my bets skewed right side for the Roosters, but I felt like Sam Walker's just taking everything left. He was playing his hand too much there. I did have Nwangani Tuase for 6 tries though, so I will say that. But every time they went right to your rep players and your Rob Toya and your Marky Mark, they're breaking the line or they're scoring. Yeah. But there's for some reason they kept on throwing bombs up on the left. Maybe they're targeting Patrick Herbert. Maybe I don't know. But either way,
maybe it's just Tigers mana.
Tigers mana.
We're just going to chalk it up to
Benji
Tigers
ball.
money. Bit of Benji ball. Yeah. I don't have too many more notes from that game. I think we can safely move on. Just quickly. Pantsman.
I was just going to say, over the last few months, after your mini Magic Round, and you've been praising the Australian stadiums. Yes. You've been saying how much better they are than New Zealand. I just think, I for one of the first times since being here, I had a bad stadium experience.
Talk us through it.
At a core stadium, which, a core stadium is great for the big games. You'll see that at the grand final. A lot of the Kiwis who are over there watching the Warriors will see that at the grand final. 85,000 people there. There'll be trains running from Central. There'll be heaps of different drink lines and stuff open. But for some reason, they always underestimate, especially when there's a good away fan showing like the Warriors. Yeah. I think there was 20,000 there. They underestimate what's going to happen. So to get there, you had to catch a train to a station close, and then they shut the Olympic Park train station. So you have to get on the rail buses, which is never good, never a great experience. And then afterwards, getting out of the game would have been a nightmare, getting the bus to the train. And then they only opened 2 bars on the Warriors side of the stadium, which you can't be making those mistakes when you've got a lot of passionate Kiwis, passionate Australian Warriors fans over there, just either drinking their sorrows away or drinking nervous just to, get through the game.
Or celebrating.
It took about 20 minutes during the game. I went in the 20th minute and I missed from 20 to 40. So I knew that try from Eddie to Chanel was in the 32nd minute because I was standing in the drinks line. And then my mate said that we're gone for about 35 minutes at halftime. It's just a little bugbear. But it's no fault besides the stadiums. But you just gotta make the ultimate fan experience and open a few more bars because there was all these different bars there. They weren't open. What's doing there, mate?
95% of the ACC's content at the moment is trying to make it easier to get piss, which I think is a valiant effort and a good one, a good fight to be fighting. I would say they always talk about how these games are home games for the Warriors. And what they mean by that is the fans, but maybe in this instance what they mean is the fan experience as well. It feels like a home game for the Warriors in that you can't get fucking beer.
Mate, it did feel like that. But there's a bar right next to the stadium, the locker room, which was just, they were calling it the Lockwa room. It was just all Kiwi fans, all Warriors fans in there. After the game, they even had the full playlist on. Culture, what are they called? I can't even think. Just all the tunes, just all the Islander tunes pretty much after the game. It felt like you're at Kong in Auckland.
Felt like you're at Izaak's house.
Yeah, that's what I was looking to say.
Yeah. Hey, just quickly, off the back seat this time around, we are back with Matt Gibb. You can check out the full video and the rest of the Off the Back Seat Fan Edition series on the ACC YouTube channel and go with more with GWM. We took a delightful little drive with Matt Gibb up and down. What's that one out towards Mission Bay called? Tamaki Drive? Oh, beautiful. And the GWM Canon Alpha plug-in hybrid. It's the only car I'll drive up that road. But anyway, it's worth going and watch. So go and have a look on the ACC YouTube channel and go with more with GWM. All right, we've got Warriors double passes to give away to every Warriors home game across the season. Text WARS to 3236 to get in the draw for this Sunday's game against the Knights at Go Media Stadium. That's all thanks to Export Ultra, the beer for here. I just wanted to address something that I hadn't heard anyone else talking about. And I had to Google this when I was at Mount Smart on the weekend. It's a volcano. I didn't know that Mount Smart was an actual volcano. I knew all the others were, but it never occurred to me that it was a volcano. And while I was sitting in there, I was just like, why aren't we making a bigger... I know the team is called the Vulcans. I feel like we need to be making a way bigger deal out of the fact that we play rugby league inside a volcano. I just wanted to throw that one out.
Is it a dormant or active volcano? I presume it's dormant.
That's a good point. We'll have to look into it.
Shit, I hope it's not active.
Yeah, 20,000 years ago was the last time it erupted. It's been multiple parasites since then, and now we play rugby league. And I just feel like it should be dressed up more like a volcano. We should make a bigger deal out of the fact that when you come to New Zealand, you got to play the Warriors inside a fucking volcano. I think Australians, they would blow their mind if they knew that. Anyway, we're taking on the Knights this weekend. I got to be honest, with the Warriors going as good as they have been, I've sort of lost track of how the rest of the table's shaping up because I'm only looking at the top two spots. But if you look down, the Knights are there and they are rounding into a little bit of form. Should we be worried about them, Pantsman?
Oh, look, I don't think we should be worried about them at all. I think they are a great side, yeah, but I mean, look, they're missing a few key players this week. They've got Dom Young and Tyson Frizzell both suspended, and then Phoenix Crossland's getting an immediate knee surgery before the finals. So they've been Dom Young and Phoenix Crossland, they've both been star players here for the club. But you just never know. In a team that has the X-Factor players like Kalen Ponga and Fletcher Sharp, they have been, their backline's been doing damage, and I presume that Bradman Best will be on that left-hand side as well. There was a game earlier in the year where the Knights played the Dragons. I think the Knights won 60-10 or something, and Clint Gutherson was defending on that right-hand side, and every single time Bradman Best ran down there, it was just pretty much a try. Marzu, he got 5 tries at that game. So, that is a bit of a worry, considering our right edge was dangerous in the weekend and a bit of a worry. But I think the boys will fix that, and hopefully we can just get out there. It doesn't matter if we win by 19 points, if we win by however many. The minor premiership will be nice, but just assuring that top 2 finish is what we want to do. And I think we can take the Knights down this week.
Greg Marshall always scares me. Will he be going up against Luke Laulili?
Nah, I don't think so.
Oh, thank God.
I think he will be.
Yeah, okay, God.
I think he will be. Yeah, because he's on the. Because is he not on the left? Yeah, I think he's the left winger.
Oh, yes. No, yeah, he is.
There'll be a bit of traffic down that way.
And then, I mean, Luke Lily, I mean, he has played, it's not his debut. He has played almost 20 NRL games. But yeah, it'll be a good test for him taking on that left-hand edge of the Knights.
Talk to me about, I mean, there is a name of consequence on the bench here. When you think of great rugby league names, they don't get much better than Diesel Hagen. That is one of the I mean, that guy had no choice. He wasn't going to be an accountant. He wasn't, you know what I mean? He's not going to be a priest. Do we know anything about Diesel Hagen?
I do. I think he was born into the Hagens are like a famous rugby league family as well. I first saw Diesel Hagen in the under-19 game. He's a hooker. He was playing in the New South Wales versus Queensland under-19 game. Yeah, he's just a hooker. I think he made like 50 tackles in that game. Not sure if he has played any NRL yet, but Michael Hagen. I think it must be from the same family. Played 275 rugby league games. Played 5 for Queensland. Coached the Knights and Eels and Queensland as well. So he seems like he's a tough Queensland bugger. It seems weird that his son was playing for New South Wales. Maybe it's not his son, but yeah, I love the name Diesel Hagen. He's hopefully he doesn't come on because that seems like he seems like he could start a fire.
It doesn't get much better than Diesel Hagen.
Not many options there, eh? Just it's either he's a rugby league player or he's on the Benny.
Yeah,
I think it's one of the two, and he's just that guy ripping into parties 24/7.
Here comes Diesel Hagen.
I'll give you. What about a porn star?
Yeah. Or bare knuckle fighter.
Shit,
yeah, UFC fighter as well.
Yeah.
Bare knuckle.
How about those 1 minute scraps? I was absolutely devastated when I saw the recent highlights. Did you see the recent?
No, what's the most recent one?
Right across the road.
What?
It was right in the parking lot, like right across the way there. I think they must have done it on the Saturday.
Well, outside the cafe there?
Yeah, the tattoo shop. They're surrounded in the car park there.
What the fuck?
Oh, you missed opportunity.
God damn it. I've
also just done a bit of research, and Diesel Hagen is zero relation to that guy that I just talked about, so don't worry. Just ignore the last 3 minutes of gibber I just spoke.
Leave it in too. Leave it in the podcast. Predictions for this game. I think every game is going 40-20 for the Warriors. I think we're scoring 40. I think we might concede 20. It doesn't seem to matter. Tamati Martin's back in. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. Pompey on the bench. Morgan Gannon back on the bench as well. I just can't see them getting past us. I think earlier on in the season we were susceptible to speed wobbles. We would lose a game that you'd think that we would win, and then all of a sudden we bounce back and smash the next team we come up. I think those days are gone, and so I think 40 to 20-ish is what I'm thinking.
I reckon 40 to 6, mate. 40 to 6.
Yeah. Our TAB good punt for this weekend. Vibe punt to Marty Martin and test that new hamstring back out. Was it a hamstring? Was it a calf? Did we ever get to the bottom of that?
Calf, I believe.
I think it was the calf into a hamstring. Yeah.
Yeah. It was his leg. He's going to be testing that out. That's paying $6.40 for him to score a try. Put $100 on. That'll return $540. Once that ticks over $1,000 in the kitty, we pay that out to you. We'll take one more quick break and have a whip around the NRL. The biggest headline this morning has been the Jai Arrow rule change. This has been a really cool story out of the Rabbitohs. So he's on 98. You'll know the story by now. They are going to allow him a special dispensation to start the game on the field. Basically, like, I don't know, are they going to, maybe the Rabbitohs are going to kick off and then they'll sub him straight away. Maybe the opponents will just kick the ball straight into touch. Don't know exactly how that's going to work. Is there a scenario where who are they playing this weekend? The Rabbitohs. I didn't see that. Panthers.
They're playing. The Rabbitohs are playing. I should know this.
Whoever
the Sharks.
Nah, we're playing the Sharks.
I think it's the Titans. Look, whoever it is.
It's the Titans. Yeah, Titans.
They be throwing a bit of traffic down his side. Do you reckon?
Well, apparently they're just going to play him for the full 80 because they know it's the Titans. They don't want to risk any injuries. So Jair is in the full 80.
Nah, it's such a cool story, and I mean, it's not a cool story, but it's heartwarming the way they're doing this. And that is a sign, I think. This is why the Rabbitohs have never really struggled to sign players, because they look after them. You know what I mean? I don't think this is the kind of thing that you would see like the Tigers do.
It's very similar to the after Kobe Bryant had passed, R.I.P. the legend, the Black Mamba himself. Also, R.I.P. Dolly Parton, of course, great fan of the Mad Monday podcast. Dolly Parton was, but in the NBA they did the 24-second violation in honor of Kobe. I don't know. For Kobe in particular, that was the last thing he wanted. He's Mamba mentality. He's game or nothing.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see off the back fence just Keon Kaluma. Oh, no. Who was it? Who would be on the Titan side? Tino Fa'asuamaleaui just beeline straight to Jairo and
honour him.
Give him,
honour the fuck out of him.
Respect him.
Yeah.
Respect him.
So do you know how this is going to work out nuts and bolts wise? Like, what does he wear? Is he full kit?
He's wearing full kit, yeah, but I don't think he can run at the moment. I saw an article saying that it's got pretty bad like over the last few weeks, so he can only walk. So I'm pretty sure they'll just walk in the field and they'll probably blow the whistle, then he'll sub off, and then they'll do the kickoff and stuff. But yeah, it'll be a pretty heartwarming gesture, especially against the Roosters, the Rabbitohs' great rival in round 27. So yeah, it's going to be good. And I mean, there were people saying that Jairo is a feisty character. You never know; he might not be able to come off the field.
Well, that's what I was thinking. You know, when he knows that this is his last game in the NRL, geez, he's a competitor. I wouldn't, it'd be running through his mind. Come on, one last time. The other one is they're trialing a couple of kickoff rules. The one that they talked about at the start of the year, which was when you concede, you get to decide whether you want to receive it or kick off. Is there anything more humiliating than having a rule changed on your game because it doesn't matter whether you win or lose? That's the kind of thing they would have done to us in years past.
The only thing more humiliating is that for Adam Reynolds, Michael Maguire didn't even play him in this game for his last two potential games, or his last ever game in front of the Broncos. So that's kind of tied into the story as well. And Reynolds has come out saying he was kind of good to go, but man just didn't want to risk it. But yes, that is a massive humiliator. I'm pretty unaware of I sort of don't really know what the rule is. Is it what you can choose? The other team can, if you concede, you decide whether you kick or receive?
Yeah.
I think
it's interesting.
I think it's good. It's for probably not good for the Warriors because they're obviously more than likely going to be putting on the points. But for a team like my Eels, to be able to get the ball back every time,
just to have a bit of choice,
just
to feel like you're part of the game.
A bit demoralising if you get the ball back off the kickoff and you still only get up the field maybe 50 meters.
Fuck, imagine if you decide to receive and then stone cold knock on off the kickoff. I think the only other rule change that I like a lot, I like the being able to pick because it just introduces another storyline. I think that the top 4 teams should get to pick their opponent in the first round of the playoffs. So if you finish first, which you're the Warriors, you get to pick who you play in that first round. I think that because there'll be teams that have finished lower or higher than another team, but you've picked that team because you reckon you're going to beat them. Now all of a sudden that's extra motivation for them. They're insulted that you picked them. If it's an upset, fuck that. I mean, the storyline's coming out of that. I would like to see that rule implemented. Volandis seems like I'll get him on the line. He seems like the kind of guy who would do it.
Get him on the blower.
I'll get him on the blower. I'll get him on the podcast. Anything else you're hearing around the traps over there, Pantsman?
Oh, not too much, mate. There was a story that came out, and it was the headline of the Daily Telegraph. I got a notification. It said, "Not even fentanyl worked. Brian Fletcher rushed to hospital." So he just had to pass a kidney stone, apparently. He had to pass a couple of kidney stones whilst he was live on air on SEN radio station over in Australia. So I'm sure that'll be a story that's laughed upon this week on the Matty John show as well. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah, not too much else. Just people jumping on the Warriors bandwagon, Australian media companies using Warriors on thumbnails to exploit views and stuff. It's wow. Yeah, it's just a good time to be a Warriors fan.
It's got a vibe about it. All right, thanks very much for your time this morning, gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend of rugby league football, and we'll be back next week for another episode of the Mad Monday podcast.
An Australia without rugby league is not Australia.